I'm here at the 2024 Fort Lauderdale Boat Show comparing 20 to 21 foot center consoles. We're diving into their prices, standout features, and overall value to find out which boat comes out on top and which one gives you the best bang for your buck. Let's get started.
All right, we're at Robalo. A lot of people told me that I had to take out the Robalos. It's a 20 footer with a 150 Yamaha. We have a dive platform off the back and a nice little cover here for the ladder with tension hinges on there. I noticed that these Robalos are all heavy duty hardware supposedly, so let's take a look. Big old casting deck off the back. I'm gonna put you guys in here. You guys tell me what you see. It's a small little access hole for the bilge. So, all right, so you have all this, this folds down, and you got like almost like a little casting deck, or if you're at the sandbar, you come in and out of the boat, making it very easy. This pulls up. Oh yeah, look at this. You see some of the wiring in there. I like that they build a support for the fuel fill. Alrighty, back here, big old live well back here. And we got more storage. Yep, more storage back here. This right here is a brace for the drains of the deck. Okay, cooler underneath the leaning post here. Robalo on there with the EVA foam, undergunnel storage. You got some raw water access over there, deck drains. This is a very popular model that they have down in South Florida. You see them a lot. You'll see them on the boat ramp videos a lot. Leaning post with the rocket launcher. Does this come up? No, so there's nothing under there. Get a little bit of storage down here. There, you see? Sensitive. Okay, so you get a little ACR with your battery switch. And then look, okay, this is a little different. Your helm is almost in the center, centered off. EVA foam up here with little drains. Got your push horns here. You have your it's actually connected. You got your fuses, Yamaha gauges, and then the T-top is bolted to the floor and to the actual center console. A T-top is very, it's umbrella material, nothing, not a hard top or anything like that. Very simple, very plain. And oh, this is interesting. Oh, look at that. Access to your center console is here. I like that a lot. You can actually step down and get into your head. Okay. Now I can't see the wiring because I can't really get in there. But if we take a peek, let's take a peek. See what you guys see up there. We'll find the way. See over here. What's that look like? Got a little light up there. You got access to your porta potty. And this looks good. Very, very easy access. I love this compared to the side doors a lot. Alrighty, we got grab rails up on top. Got more storage. Nice heavy duty hinges, nice gaskets. This great, quality boat. Quality boat. Everything is nice and tight, nice and neat. Everything looks finished. This is very, very strong and sturdy here. Let's look up here, all the bolsters and things like that. Nice and clean. Tension hinges up here, I like that. This is great, because when it's rough, you don't want this to hit your fingers. Anchor locker, finished. You got a bulkhead there, so everything's painted, and that's nice. That is good. Got the Robalo, the embossed look here. Let's take a look at the price. Let's see what we got. Boat show price, $66,920. 20 foot, 7 inches, almost an 8.5 foot beam, 70-gallon fuel tank, and weighs about 3,000 pounds. Now, I was talking to Chris, which is a dealer for Bob Hughes Boats, and he was telling me that the pricing you get for Robalos is the pricing that you get everywhere. They don't haggle the price. You can't haggle the price. The pricing is direct from Robalo. So the price that you see here, it is what it is. They don't do the boat show discounts because that's what Robalo sets the price at. So that could be a positive, it could be a negative, but you're not going to get those $10,000 boat show deals. So I kind of like that because you don't have to worry about going in there and being haggled, or maybe looking like you're getting, maybe getting taken advantage of. So 20-foot Bullsbay center console 200. Got a step ladder, little platform back here, Euro transom. This one's powered by a 150 Suzuki. Up here the build, she got some raw water here. You guys take a look. I'm gonna put you upside down. You guys can tell me what you see. And this goes here. Some of that. No tension hinges, just regular hinges on there, which is, let's see, big old live well, big, real big. All right, the battery could be secured a little better. I think that this is not completely finished, but the battery, I like that this is recessed here so all the water falls off the side. That's very nice. Clarion speakers, grab rails, all of this feels very solid. Access to your fuel tank. You have your cooler underneath there. You have a leaning post, and you have good. This is a nice little leaning post you got there. Under gunnel storage with the plastic inserts. And then let's go up to the helm here. So you got storage here, so you can put I don't know, maybe cell phones and things like that. Like in here, a couple cup holders, hydraulic steering, got your switches. You got a big space here for your Garmin's. I love this little thing up here. It's for your cell phones. Now you can charge your phones up here. I didn't even see that. Clarion speakers, and you have a T-top bolted down to the floor and the console, and fabric T-top. And then here you have your box. This is already cut out in case you want some outriggers for there. Let's take a look at the console. I like to look at the console, and this is a fairly big console for a 20-foot boat. So all the wiring and stuff we're gonna take a look at now. Let's take a look. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty impressed. Not bad. It's actually good. There's heat shrinking on everything. Everything's tight. Yep. Nothing's hanging around. Here you have a battery, so everything's tucked away for if you want to put a battery in there. Okay, this folds down, so if you want to get some more space, and even then with that in the way, you get a lot of space. I can still walk around, and I can walk through here without having to turn sideways, which is a big thing. Courtesy lights underneath. Let's take a look in here real quick. Okay, big storage here. The splatter paint, a little old school, but different. All right, and coming up here, let's see what we got. Oh, big old storage there, so you can put life jackets and things like that, and it's finished. Nice. Let's take a look at the anchor locker real quick. Boom. So this is all finished as well. Nice and clean. No nasty fiberglass taken out that can poke you. It's a pretty good value. You're trying to get on the water at a decent price. You got a plug here. Look, if you want a trolling motor, dude. We're looking at 54,481. If you're looking for value, you really can't beat something like this. I mean, it's a pretty good value, man, for what you get. They could fix a couple little things with like better hardware and things like that would make this really stand out. But I think it's good. I think it's good for the price. 20-foot boat at 54,000. I think that's a pretty good deal. I didn't even talk about the spreader light. There's lights up there up on the T-top as well. All right, so now we're gonna look at the Pioneer. They have two models. They have the Sportfish 202 and they have the Islander 202. So they're very similar, but I'll show you both. I'm not gonna walk through both because they both have almost the same layout, except for the rear bench. On both of these boats, we got Suzuki 150s. We got step ladders on both with some EVA foam. Actually, you got step ladders on both sides. So you got a little platform and you got ladders on both sides. Now, coming up to the stern, you have, on this model, you have this splash well. And here you got a splash well with a full bench going across. Full bench, and then this one has just a splash well. So let's check this out. All right. So there you got just some storage. And over here, some more storage. Okay, and that's all finished. I can't see what that is over there, but it's a little weird. And then here you got your bilge, which I know I always like to see the bilge. So I like to see how it's finished in there, and these are, I can't tell if things are tidy, so you guys are gonna have to tell me in the comments, but okay, not bad. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Looks good. I'm not a fan of these, but it's okay. All right, so we don't have, like the Bullsbay, we don't have the recessed draining system. This is just decks, in-deck drains, just like this, and they're at the back. So now we have a big live well here in the leaning post. That's a huge live well for a 20-footer. Obviously, this is the fishing model, right? And on that one, instead of a fiberglass leaning post, we have a regular leaning post with a cooler underneath it, and you get access to your fuel tank under there as well, as you can see here. Okay, both boats have bolsters all along the sides, and the leaning posts are, well, at least the seats are very similar. So this one, the fiberglass model, has tackle storage underneath, which is, you're going to want that if you're fishing. This one just has a leaning post. Very nice looking helm. The lights really make it look nice, those lights up there. Okay, so you got your Suzuki mechanical gauges, which I'm not a fan of mechanical gauges, but they do their thing. You have push button switches over here with their fuses, Simrad, GPS. You have your C-Star steering, couple cup holders, and you have a footrest up there. Under gunnel storage. Right, you got your rod holders. And it's the same for the other one. That's pretty much the same. If you look at the T-top, you got molded T-top, hard top with the rocket launchers up here. The other one does have the rocket launchers up there as well. And let's see what we got up here. All right, so we got our switches for our lights up there. How's the wiring look? Wiring looks good. Nothing crazy, No. So this model is a little bit different up here in the bow. So this one has a cooler for seating. This one has molded into the center console, and there's a backrest on that one that this one does not have. So those are the differences. Let's take a look inside the console. Let's check out the wiring, because that's the most important part. Again, big consoles in here too. Let's get this out. Okay, so your batteries are in here, which I like better than in Bullsbay, because it's away from the elements. The wiring could be a little neater also. It's not bad by any means, but it could be a little neater in my opinion. You guys can give me your opinion in the comments. I like that everything is plumbed as well, the cup holders, and yeah, there's nothing out of this, nothing out of place, and heat shrinking where it needs it, on the batteries. So everything looks up to par in here. All right, so let's close that up, and then let's look up here at the bow. All right, big storage in there. And then up here, you got your anchor locker. And this is a nice and finished anchor locker in here. Yeah, nice and finished. So the Bullsbay and this boat seem to be very similar. The Pioneer looks a little bit more refined. And I gotta say, of all the boats that I've seen compared to the last boat show that I went to, the boats seem to be a little bit better quality. I haven't really found many like blunders. Yeah, so far so good. Cool boat. Want a boat to get out there, you know, get to the sandbar and stuff like that. And let's look at the 21 Carolina Skiff DLX. So this is the true flat bottom. This one comes on a 140 Suzuki. It's got a dive platform off the back here. And yeah, pretty interesting boat. Very no frills, very simple. Got a live well over there. And then the actual bilge is kind of exposed, so you kind of like get to see this as it is. So you got your batteries over there and there's some access to it. I don't even have to climb on this boat to show it to you. I can't tell if it's good wiring or not back here because I can't see. Anyway, you guys tell me what you see. I don't see much. Couldn't tell you if it's bad or not. But yeah, no frills on this. And we're gonna talk about pricing in a second. Immediately, you just see how wide this boat is. It's gigantic. Huge casting deck back here. That's a spot for your light, your anchor light. You have through holes for the drains. There's your rod storage. And this is a 21-foot boat. It feels gigantic. It really does. It feels huge. Look how big that looks. Just super, super wide. Leaning post is very basic. You know, it doesn't, you know, fuel tank under the console, nothing, again, nothing, no frills, right? Let's look at the wiring. I can't tell, you guys are gonna have to tell me, or I'll look at it while I'm editing and see if it's good, or if it's bad, or what it is. You got your mechanical gauges here. This is hydraulic steering on this, nice. Got some rod storage. And then you get more storage in here. And then again, this is another piece here. Look, you have access to your trolling motor there and all that. So more storage, more batteries you can put up there. Got your breakers. Okay, and a big old casting deck, gigantic. So if you're maybe going into the bay, if you're gonna be going to the sandbar, you know, you want something of value, this might be for you. You know, very wide. Let's take a look at the price. $39,000, 21 foot, even, a beam of 93, so 8 and change. Sorry, transom height of 25, 140 horsepower, Suzuki. The boat only weighs 2,400 pounds, so that little 140 Suzuki is gonna push this boat just fine. Might pound your teeth out, but I think this is one of the cheapest that we've seen. So let's see what's next. Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at, this is the 203, so 203, a little bit smaller than the 21.9 we were just on. Trim tabs up here, dive ladder. This one's not too far off. Now a Yamaha 150 as well, so. All right, this one is a lot more plain Jane. No tension hinges on here. You got your wiring back there. Oh, live well, looks like the same as a 21.9. Very, very, very simple. Big storage. All right, no cooler under there, but there's space for a cooler. Leaning post. This one has a bimini top. All right.
So the one at the store does have the
Center console is very similar to the other one, to the 219. Actually, might even be. No, it's a little different. This one's a little smaller. Very similar in the layout. So storage up there. Fusion radio, Garmin, Yamaha gauges. There's switches. Missing a little switch there. UVA foam up there. Battery switch out there. I don't think I like these battery switches outside because they're. See how discolored that is just from being outside of the dealer. And then center console. The wiring is good. It's full of all the cushions and stuff. You got the 2 batteries there. The wiring job looks good. Could have maybe clipped up some of that. There's zip ties, but no big deal. Bolsters all throughout. A little storage here. We got a waste and water. I wonder why there's a waste tank on this boat. Do they have They have a head in there I didn't see? Yeah, I guess there's a little toilet down there. No. I don't like that too much. This one's a little tighter, so that one's solid, the other one's not. All right, we got more storage here. More storage there. But this one is $62,999. So, seems a little expensive to me. And up we got the Albury Brothers. I've always loved these boats. I think they're super, super slick. And I was just talking to the gentleman, the rep, and he was saying that these boats haven't changed. They've never changed since the 50s. The design has always been the same. It used to be wooden boats until 1980, and they started doing fiberglass after that. This is a real simple, very stout fishing boat. So let's go take a look. This one's powered by Suzuki 200. It's got big old trim tabs back there. Open transom, right? Okay, I can tell you something. As soon as I stepped on this boat, it feels like I'm on concrete. It is solid. Probably one of the most solid boats I've ever stepped on. This thing is stout. So hydraulic steering on here. Again, there's like not many frills on this boat. This is just a hardcore, strong. This is just a really strong boat. So here you have the bilge pump. Everything's exposed, so everything drains to here. And then you also have these scuppers here for any water that might get into the splash wall here. And then, yep, the floor is a really nice blue. I like that for the glare. It's very, very, gives it a nice touch. A really nice leaning post. Let's see if this comes up. Very old school. The rocket launchers back there. Yeah, got some, check out the electrical on this thing. Yeah, let's check that out. Clean electrical. The wiring is nice and clean. Look at that. That's what you get with these semi-custom boats. Again, you can just notice the difference versus the production boats. Fuel filter, batteries are in there. All right, coming up to the helm. All right, here, Blue Sea system switch. These are nice old school, very heavy duty switches. Big old Garmin, Suzuki gauges, VHF fusion. Fusion radio, Suzuki digital gauges, some cup holders over here, a nice compass, grab rails, a decent T-top with the canvas. There's that vinyl. All right, no frills, just very simple. Console's bolted down to the floor. You got JL audio speakers. Let's check out the undergunnel. Look how nice that is. It's nice and clean. Again, this is quality up on par with some of the other custom, semi-custom boats that we've seen. Super nice. Boom. You can walk nice and clear through these, through the side here. Well, let's see what we got. A nice storage for your things in there. All right. And then coming up to the bow, you have a nice finished box in here. And if you look at these lines, everything is clean, shine, and just the attention to detail on this boat is next level. You can see the beautiful paint, how nice that is. Boom. Big old casting deck up here. Again, solid as a rock. And your anchor locker in there. And you have a big old cleat up in the front. Heavy duty. I love these boats. I love the style of them. I love the simplicity. They are expensive, so let's take a look at the price and see what we got. So 20 foot 5 inches, beam of 7.3, draft of 14 inches, 72 gallons, 19 degree dead rise. And this is the power options with the price. So it goes all the way up to 103 and then 91 with a Suzuki 175, but 200 is 93,000. I love these chimes. These splash chines. It's gonna keep you nice and dry. So I think he called it a keel, splash keel. Even the design of this thing is just completely different than anything you've seen. And look at the quality of this. So everything's nice and clean. It's almost perfect. All right, we got the Mako boats. This is a sweet looking boat. The gentleman was telling me that these boats are now made where they make Hatteras. So I did notice that the quality on these boats have gone up a little bit compared to the other ones. The original ones were a couple years ago where they were not up to par, let's say. But I did notice that these boats, the quality is a lot better in these boats at this particular boat show. So let's start off here at the stern. You got a Mercury 225. You have a dive ladder back here with a little platform, trim tabs, through holes back there. Let's go ahead and take a look. Little touches like this are nice, you know, the Mako cleats, things like that. I like the bench seat back here. Full bench seat. This is great for, you know, just cruising, hanging out. And for me, that I like to dive. All right, let's take a look in there. Tell me what you guys see. Oh, this is okay. That's cool. Yeah. So if you want access to, you know, your bilge, come here. There's your fuel tank. You got access to all that stuff there. Yeah. I can't really see what's back there, but it looks pretty clean from up there. You have your conduits all through your wiring, which is a nice touch. Okay, and then over here, let's see, I think there's a little live well or something. Yep, you got a live well back here. Alrighty, grab rails, fusion radios, fusion speakers. Let's see, alright, got some undergunnel storage for your rods on both sides, bolsters all throughout. And then you have a nice leaning post with your cooler underneath. No backrest, but I'm assuming you can maybe have an option for that. There's nothing behind here, right? Nope. Okay, coming up to the helm. A little storage down there. Little space for your feet. Little up there. Your switches, standard switches, cup holders, gauges, big old Garmin up here. Nice area to put, you know, your phone, wallet, things like that. T-top down to the floor and the console. And let's see up here. Canvas T-top. All right. I like you can walk through here without having to turn sideways. And then these cleats, these hidden cleats are really convenient too. We don't have to worry about, you know, getting caught up on that. Let's check out the console on the side. Boom. Okay, so this is a big old console. Big old console. And yeah, look at the wiring in there. I mean, it looks good. At least from what I can see. You got a nice little switch panel there. Everything's nice and clean. There's a little step too. So if you want to step down in here, there's a lot of space. A lot of space. Put a little head in there. Got a light, access to your electronics. Back up in here. Yeah. Clean. All right, so cooler seat over here. Cooler seat over there. Let's see what's under here. Okay. I wish they would put like maybe some tension hinges or something, or a strut, something. Space there for a bucket. I don't know if you could see that. People are doing that now. They put a little bucket space there, or a little cubby for the bucket. Yep, big old storage. More speaker systems over here. Like this backrest they got here. All right, big old. Here they have the struts. See, a little strut on the floor would have been nice. And then over here, got some more storage. And everything's finished with the gaskets and things like that. And coming up to the bow, more heavy-duty cleats. Yep. And then you got your bulkhead there. And that's basically it. Pretty simple. Let's go check out the price. I gotta give it to Mako, man. They've really stepped up compared to what I remember a few years ago. So Mako 2025 214 4-stroke. We're looking at $90,539. 21 foot, 250 horsepower, 91 gallon, 8.5 foot beam, 4,500 pounds. It's a big heavy boat. Yeah, big old heavy boat. And I like the color too. The color's pretty sweet. But yeah, nice hardware throughout. Nice hardware throughout. They've stepped it up. Got to give it to them. Going to see these. A minute. We got the Dusky boats. I've always loved Dusky. They're sweet. Built here out of South Florida, I believe in Davie or Dania. And this is their 22 model. It's got a 200 horsepower Suzuki with a platform back here. This is their original 20 footer. I don't know if you guys, all of you guys that know about Dusky. So let's look. It's got a 60 gallon fuel capacity, 22 foot 7 length overall. That's including the bracket. Got an 8 foot 2 inch beam, dead rise of 20 degrees. Whole weight 3,100 pounds, max horsepower 250. So this is some of the standard equipment if you guys want to read some of that. And let's take a look at what this one is equipped with. It's got some lights back here on the transom, trim tabs, and I love the platform. Again, these platforms are sweet for diving. They're great for sandbar. They're fantastic, and it's a positive flotation, so it helps with the ride. Let's take a look in here. So these are 3-piece construction hull. Again, this is almost like semi-custom. Let's take a look. So the freeboard, not very high freeboard, right? Not very high, just right at the knee. And then back here you have a drainage system on the back of, on the stern here, right on the transom. And all the water goes off of there. So let's take a look. They said they just put a new liner in this thing, so that's cool. New liner system. Okay, and we got, that's the gentleman, he builds them. Yeah, and you can tell this stuff is all good. You can see all the wires twisted and stuff like that. That's a nice touch. I believe this is the old live well. Oh no, this is just storage they have in here, and it's a big old storage. Yeah, big, huge storage in there. I mean, you could put a ton of crap in there. Lots of storage. I would like to see a little bit of tension hinges on here. Those little upgrades just to make it a little better. And then got a big old bench seat back here with a backrest. I like this a lot. It's great for diving and stuff. You put a cooler there too. You got to put a cooler back here on the leaning post, old school leaning post. Let's see if there's some storage back here. Yep. Yeah, I got some storage underneath. And you got your footrest that you got down here. Real clean looking console, switches. You got a Simrad up there, hydraulic steering, and then you got some storage up here with your VHF radio, JBL speakers, your trim tabs. And then see how thick the tube is here, and the tube connects to the floor and the center console. Coming up to the T-top, you got a hard top out here. Looks like a molded hard top with some spreader lights, and you got some rocket launchers off the back. And then I think you have a spreader light up here and towards the bow. Yeah, with your anchor light. Oh, that's an anchor light up there. And then here you got the console, starboard console. And then, yeah, then you got all the wiring up here, and you know, again, you know, very clean. Everything's nice and taken care of. You got your battery storage down there. You got some more storage up in the front. Tons of space in here. Tons of space. Tons of space. And look, you have a fresh water. Got a fresh water wash down on this side. Sweet. Toe kick around here. It's convenient. Toe kick all around the console. Right? And then you got a big old live well. Man, this is huge. Big old live well up here. Real big live well. Okay, and then over here, yeah, you got access to your fuel tank up there. So you see there's a 3-piece construction hull, as you can see. So you got the cap, you got the inner liner, and you have the hull, right? So this is one piece here, this is one piece, then you got the cap that goes on it, and then you have the outside hull. Infinity speakers. Let's see here, we got storage. Big old storage unit here with some drains out there. Those have some struts on them. Down here on the floor, got more storage. Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit of the hinges in there. That might be tension or maybe a strut. Got more storage there, big storage. And then up here, you got a nice big storage area over here too. Nice. And then up here at the bow, you know, these have the big bow flare, so you don't get so much of a pointed V up in the front, but you can cast from up there. You can throw your net. And then look at the size of this anchor locker. It's huge. You know. Let's go check out the price of this guy. So you're looking at fly-by-wire 200 horsepower, 83,300. The 227 VXF, 83,000 for this Dusky. And again, custom, semi-custom boats. I think that's where it's at, man. I like both, but I think you get a really good deal with those semi-custom boats. And you're getting I mean, you step on this thing is like solid as a rock. It has a very hard ping, you know, very hard thud. So these bolts are solid. And this is great, just the access with the access if you're diving at sandbar. These bolts are great. Yeah, that new liner looks good.
After comparing all the boats, the Dusky 227 stood out as the best option for me with its impressive features and performance. But for the best value, the Bullsbay 20-footer takes the crown, offering a lot of bang for your buck at a great price. Which one would you choose? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video where I compare 22 to 23-foot boats.